We are a serious band. We have serious music. We don't do silly music, doing the clowns. We don't like to be comedians, We want to be musicians. But uh, it's correct to embrace and to understand and to study what is the new languages of communication in the business. Otherwise, you will be cut out.
Hello, you metal pilgrims, and a very special welcome to all the Windrose fans on the show. For today, I'm finally more than happy to welcome once again on the show after a couple of years of a break, Francesco Cavalieri from Windrose. Francesco, thank you so much, man. How's it going?
Hey there, it's going good. Thank you for inviting me. Hi,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, thank you for joining me, man. It's been a while. It's been what, 3 years since we spoke or something like this. It's been a fucking long time.
It was actually 2022, probably,
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Warfront. Yes,
yeah,
couple
exactly.
of years, couple of
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
time flies. I mean, obviously the biggest news about Windrose this season is the release of your upcoming studio album Trollslayer, which will be out on what, October 4th, very, very soon, in a couple of weeks now. Uh,
Yeah.
First of all, congrats, man. Congrats on finishing it up. I know it can be tough these days, but I'm glad it's out. And before we start with anything else, can you tell us a little bit about the creative process behind it? How you guys, came up writing it, and how it all turned out to be what the fans will be able to hear in a couple of weeks.
Let's say that this album is a mix between our previous album Warfront and the other one Wintersaga. Because in Warfront there were not much party songs. We didn't felt the need, the inspiration for them, because it was made during pandemic.
Mhm.
So we wanted to keep to get back the keys of dwarf metal, the keys of our composition, and bring them with a new spirit, with something more mature, something more experienced that we experienced in these 5 years. And to be honest, it will be an album that will make happy all the people, the not sophisticated, the sophisticated ones that like more technical stuff. So it will be a very good album. There are slow songs and powerful. There are fast songs. I mean, it's more complete than Warfront, in our opinion.
I gotta agree with you. I think it's more, it has a little bit more sides to it that you can enjoy it from. And one thing that kind of struck me a little bit is that, as a fan of this genre, especially growing up, I feel a bit more of the influence of this early 2000s, late 90s European folk metal scene. Do you agree with this? A bit more, I feel like, more vivid
Yeah,
on this record.
yeah. It's the influences that we also had on Wintersaga, but in Warfront, the approach that we had in composition was different. We were forced to compose, uh, let's say in smart working, because we couldn't meet
Mhm.
due to the pandemic. So I think that when we are together, we just express more this kind of feelings. We can do better songs for with this kind of influences. I mean that they are the influences of the music that we like. So yes, I mean definitely there are more folk metal influences in this one compared to the previous one.
You guys experiment little to little, from an album to an album, but it does seem like at least, several years ago, you kind of found a formula that really works for you. You really invented it. And you are similar to what Powerwolf is doing, to what Sabaton are doing, which are great bands, of course. And you're delivering your fans exactly what they want with a slight variation of it. Is it something that only seems on the surface, or did was there something that you actually did drastically different this time, for example, compared to anything you did before?
Probably this album, I mean, yes, some songs are exactly what the people is expecting from a dwarf metal band, and they, if they like our music genre, probably they will have exactly what they want. One example on every song, let's say there could be rock and stone.
Mhm.
That is actually something that the people wanted, because there were a lot of people screaming rock and stone in our shows, especially in the US. I mean, because there is a big community of gamers that play Deep Rock Galactic, so we wanted to make this song, for them, for this community, as a gift, as a honor, uh, for them. And it's a standalone song, we can say, because it's the only one that is a little bit slightly different from the others. The others are more fast. So probably in this album we implemented more extreme vocals,
Mhm.
like screaming and stuff like this. And as always, we in the last song, for example, we put more of our technical stuff and of our music taste. So, as I said, in my opinion, it's something. It's a way in the between. It's something that the people will expect to listen, but it's also uh, influenced by what we like in the moment. We don't like to compose songs. We have to do a song about the beer. No, if it comes, it's good. It will be good live, funny times live. But we are not able to force ourselves to compose a song in a specific way. We just compose what we feel in the moment. That's a good thing in my opinion, and it's one of our strongest thing, because it keeps the material that you provide very real and genuine, and um, I always call this word in English. It Heterogeneous? No,
Yeah.
it's a word. Yeah, I mean,
I think most likely from Italy.
no, I mean, because in Italian is heterogeneo, no?
Yeah.
That means that not all the stuff is the same, but it's different. I mean, I don't want to compare to bigs, but for example, Queen.
Mhm.
Every song is different,
Mhm.
but it has always the imprinting and the keys of their way to compose songs. So we like to do stuff like this. Obviously, we are not the same, because it's not possible for us to make a more pop song or more. We have to keep it with metal roots, let's say. So we have to stick to metal, to not go out of the genre of music. But I mean, we are musicians. Some are very experienced. Me, no. I mean, I'm a. I don't talk about myself. I
How's
mean,
your teaching job, by the way?
yeah. I studied opera singing for many years, but then I'm a sort of. I'm a natural born musician, to be honest. I mean, I have a good ear and I can understand what it works. And this is my job when we compose. I mean, we meet all together. The others think about the music. Claudio is the guitar player. It's thinking more about technical stuff, and he knows about the recordings. He knows about programming orchestras and stuff like this. Federico used to bring most of the music, and I'm the one that arrange all the details, all the stuff. If there are 10 parts, I can clearly hear what is the part, the best one, what are the parts that work, what are the parts that doesn't work, that don't work. And this is I'm the jolly, and this is my job, and also my talent, let's say, because there are many singers in the world, and most of them are better than me. So I mean, I'm just doing exactly what I can do the best. So that's the thing.
You said a really interesting thing. You said that you guys are, writing from the heart and doing exactly what you feel like at the moment. But your music overall is a fairy tale, somewhat of an escapism for a lot of us, right? A lot of people. Which is great. I'm a huge Tolkien fan, for example. There's a map of Middle Earth behind me, literally. So it's a great thing. But how much, given all that, how much does the real world and the events which are going on in our fucked up world right now influence you really? And do they soak into the music in one way or another or not?
Let's say that for me, especially in the lyrics, I used to sing a lot of parts that were influenced by my life or by my life experience in general. So, I mean, one example of that I told many times is from the previous album, for example, I Am the Mountain is a song about depression, but because unfortunately I suffer of this sickness, I don't know how it's called. And yes, I mean, there is something that could be read between the lines if you read the lyrics, if you paying attention to what I'm saying with what I say to you, that song means to me, you will see that song in a different way, so from a different point of view. So you know, people just take it as an epic song, a glorious song, and a song about battle. But you don't know which is the enemy. Probably the enemy that you're fighting is something. It's a struggle of your life, or it's something like this. So uh, I used to write lyrics, always giving in to it all my feelings, all what I'm living in the moment, for sure.
I got introduced to you guys around 4 years ago or something like this, and it's incredible to see how guys you have grown since. And especially given in the rather, narrow genre that you kind of created yourself, right? As you yourself said, not only you're bound to be a metal band, you're also bound to be a dwarven metal band, and I think at this point, no one expects kind of anything else from you, and you kind of have to play that line anymore. Do you still have the same fun as you did back then? Waving a hammer around the stage and wearing that outfit, and overall the boundaries of the dwarven Erebor like kingdom that you've bound yourself to.
Talking just about live shows or also composing?
And composing as well.
Okay. Live shows, obviously, it's very hard and tiring to wear the costume, especially when you are in summer festivals or you are in a club full of people, 2,000 people in a small room, and you don't even breathe. I mean, you breathe uh, hot air, I mean, it's very hard it's a struggle to breathe. It's a struggle to stay with the costume. Sometimes you want to remove everything, Sometimes I did because I was about to faint. So I had to remove, especially, for example, in the US. I mean, some of the venues uh, are a mess to play. Uh, Places like Arizona or also in Canada, one of the hottest clubs that I ever played is in Ottawa, the Brass Monkey. And this fucking place is so hot. Last time was better, to be honest. But this place is so hot that the people sweating, the sweat goes to the ceiling, it gets cold, and then it drips. The ceiling is dripping the sweat of the people in the fucking drinks on the fucking
Oh,
face of the people. I mean, it's a total shit. if someone is care about the bacteria and stuff like this, they will never play that. I mean, but I mean, beside this, it's one of the places that gave me more feelings.
Mhm.
I remember last time that I played there, I also got emotional in the last song, and I was about to cry. I mean, a bit, and for sure, it's there are uh, down down points, let's say, of being in a costume and being sticking with the boundaries that we have of the image, but it gave also a sort of pleasure
Mhm.
to us. For example, me, when I wear the costume, I'm invincible. I'm the king of the dwarves. I mean, I go on stage, I'm not Francesco anymore. I'm not Francesco with his fear, with his bad feelings or stuff like this. In that hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm the king of the dwarves, and I can do and say whatever I want, and I have 1,000 people in front of me that will follow me, whatever I say and whatever I do. So it gives me a sort of energy that I can use also to fight the struggles in normal life. So this is the part that I love, and and composing is probably the best part of my job because you are not you don't have the stress of a tour. You don't have to stress about your performance if you don't have the voice. Fuck off. I mean, you are composing, so you just have to open your mind and give space to your fantasy to bring it in new paths or old paths with new ideas, with new stuff. So it's very cool. In my opinion, the let's say that the composition is my favorite part of my job.
Even though you're bound to stay within that dwarven metal, power metal, realm that you created.
But it's not. I mean, at the end, it's not totally correct because power. For example, no, like we said Sabaton and Powerwolf. Sabaton and Powerwolf. If I tell you a riff, bam, ba, da, 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 bam, like this, Sabaton. If I tell you Powerwolf, no, 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 la, 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 I'm inventing new songs. So they are for free. If you're listening to us, you can make a song about. Now, I mean, this kind of stuff is their mark, their the way they compose. But if you listen to Windrose, it's slightly difficult to tell. This is the Windrose style, or for another band like this band sound like Windrose. I mean, I'm I I'm I totally know that I don't have the knowledge of the whole world. Okay, so if there is someone that is like Windows, just let me know on my social medias. I would like it. But I never found someone that make music like us. We are sort of, even if we have boundaries, as you said, we are unique, and this is the key of success of this band. To be honest, there's no other let's say things that I can tell that they are the keys of our success. In my opinion, is that the unique style that we have, and we also put what we listen. So if you listen, for example, the old albums,
Mhm.
we were listening more metalcore stuff, and you can hear some drop like metalcore breakdowns, for example, even if it's power metal. If you listen to some albums where we were more influenced by folk metal, you hear more folk metal. If you hear, you know, so in my opinion, it's just a matter of perception. So sometimes we have to give an idea, we have to give an explanation to something. But to my band, I tell you that I'm the first one that can say that I don't see anyone making music like us. And I'm glad about it. I mean, if we were doing the same music that they are doing, all the power metal bands, I would say, okay, we are like Hammerfall, but 30 years later. I mean, so I mean, it would be
Point.
shit. No, I mean, in my opinion, it would be shit. If I was doing Stratovarius now in 2024, after 40 years of Stratovarius, it would make any sense. So, I mean, that's the thing. I hear a lot of different inspirations in our music.
Talking about your success overall, it's interesting because so many people today shit on streaming platforms, shit on TikTok, but for you, it kind of helped your breakthrough. It helped to push your uniqueness to the masses. Do you agree with this? And do you think that at least part of your success attributes to the platforms that help push it? And do you think that modern musicians overall today can embrace the technology and it can actually serve as a good thing for the music industry? Or you think that no, actually it's one in a million case and actually won't work?
No, it's not one in the million case, but we have to make we have to make uh, to understand what is the pool of bands that we have nowadays in the business. We have a pool of bands that mostly, I mean, the youngest are my age, then I'm 35. So it's uh, it's not a new generation thing. It's already old people uh, pool of bands. So because I'm 35, so I understand that I'm not. I could be not interesting for the people that's like 15 years old. You know what is happening behind my.
I think you did this and it started doing this.
Yeah, even
I'm
even
35 and
Zuma,
it's like shit going on.
even Zoom agrees. I mean, with the
I'm 35
anyway,
too, so let's see if
yeah.
it. No, yeah.
Anyway, I guess there was not a change of generations in an exchange of popularity for the new bands since the early 2000. Like there will never be bands like Linkin Park, like Korn, like this kind of bands. There will never be anymore because now the things they are not listened for 3 4 years 5 years. You don't hear I still hear the albums of Linkin Park. Yesterday, for example, with my friends, we put the old discography, and they were fucking awesome. I was like, all the time, oh, look at this, oh,
Your high school,
fantastic.
like yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this was the good music, when we were kids. And now the things are in trend for a couple of months. Okay, so it's very difficult also to get notoriety, not to get fame out of it. The social medias are the new language of communication, the instrument, the device that make you get popularity in a short term. Um, and then if you are interesting, the people will get more loyal to you and will follow you and will come to your shows. But if you are not interesting, if you don't have nothing to say, as long as you are not publishing anything,
To fuel the popularity all the time. You have to continue to throw in.
exactly.
into
You
the
have to feed. You have to feed your community. You have to feed your popularity online, because as long as you don't do contents, as it went up fast, it will go down fast. It happens to all the bands right now. If you see bands that play also with us and we were the opener, now they has less numbers than us. Why? because they didn't understood, or they refused to understand the new language of communication, that is the social medias. And we do it, we master it, let's say, because also I don't see many bands doing social medias like we do. We gave it an imprinting of not serious stuff on our page, because it's good also this. I mean, we are a serious band, we have serious music. We are not, we don't do silly music, doing the clowns. We don't like to be comedians, we want to be musicians. But uh, it's correct to embrace and to understand and to study what is the new languages of communication in the business. Otherwise, you will be cut out. And the people that refuse to do it is because mostly they are, 35, 40 plus. I mean, we saw the social medias when they were born. We got MySpace, Netlog, this kind of stuff. But they refused to embrace this kind of path, to promote your stuff. And in my opinion, they make a wrong decision, because the person that doesn't adapt is not going to survive. This is a rule of nature, not about this business or about. If you want to survive, you have to adapt. If you don't adapt, you will going to die. It's a rule of nature.
Isn't it exactly the same thing which rock and roll and heavy metal did in the early 70s to all the other musical styles? Exactly the same thing. They brought the new shit, and and it has grown into what we have it today, and thank, for that. So, and one of the things which I personally think why metal was able to survive for longer than most other musical genres which appeared in that, in that decade, is specifically because it is a living organism in a way, right? It has changed so much from the early 70s to the early 80s. By the late 80s, it was a completely different music already. It has, it has evolved all the time. And then 90s, early 2000s, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, you name it, right? And now once again. So I think this is a very core, and I very much agree with you. This is a very core of how this music has survived. And it is, I hope that more metal bands will understand that in order to continue doing that, you need to embrace the new realities of the world.
I mean, at the beginning, 70s, 80s, it was important to be on a magazine. It was important to be
MTV?
in the
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a MTV or TV show in general. And I agree. I mean, probably why should you invite Iron Maiden to a TV show? I mean, they are not mainstream, but they accepted to go uh, for promotional stuff, and I agree with them if they did it. I remember when I was a kid, I saw Europe. There was actually, Europe in the 80s was already let's say a rock pop
Yeah, yeah.
uh, band, no? So I saw them in Canale 5, no, Channel 5 in Italy, and I was like, oh, who are them? I mean, because I was a kid, no, I was like 6 years old, stuff like this, and they were playing Rock the Night or stuff like this. I mean, and I was, okay, they are a rock band, no? What is rock? And I was searching, I was already listening Queen, or I grew up with Queen and Michael Jackson mostly. But anyway, so every decade has their channels, no, to feed, to be in this channel in order to promote your stuff. Nowadays is more online. Everything is online, and it's accessible to everyone, and it's for free. I mean, so why should I use it? It's a stupid decision, no, to refuse it. I can understand that you don't know how to use it, because if you are my age, probably we
Yeah.
already do stuff like boomers, you know, on the internet. So I mean,
I'm gonna
I
tell
can
you
understand.
real quick before you say, I just established a Discord server for our metal community yesterday, and I was like typing online on my YouTube. I was like, guys, who can help me out with this? I have no idea how to fucking do it anymore.
I mean, yeah, it's normal. I mean, as long as you understand what is the language of communication of your time, you already have the key for success. It's the it's something that comes natural because you have the keys of the communication of so you promote your stuff at the best. Obviously, I see a lot of bands trying to do like us. If we do like a meme or if we do something like this, they do the same. It's okay. I mean, but I see their numbers always low, so it means that something is not. I mean, people go there and listen to your stuff, and if you don't have if you have nothing to say, they will not stay. So the key of it is to promote it the best are the social medias, but you must have also good materials behind, otherwise people will not understand, will not listen to you, you know,
Absolutely.
every day.
Well, brother, talking about heavy metal and the industry is literally my favorite thing, and I can do it for hours. But I assume you have other job to do and other interviews to attend sometime in the future. So before we close this episode, I have to ask this because, as I mentioned, I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I know you are as well. Uh, what do you think about the Rings of Power portrayal of the dwarves? Do you like it at all or not?
The doors obviously are the best part of Ring of Power, for sure. But I don't like Ring of Power at all because it doesn't respect the ideas of what this kind of word means to me. I mean, but it's just my perception and my opinion, and everyone is, I mean, they have their opinion and it's okay. I mean, I don't care. So they can have whatever opinion about it. But I knew even this year I knew Jed Brophy
Mhm.
from that he was in he made a lot of parts in Lord of the Rings and also Ring of Power. I mean, it's an actor from New Zealand, and he told me that sometimes the people uh, used to, I mean, not the people, the producers used to spend a lot of times because the orcs arrived to the village and they slain uh, two kids.
Mhm.
Ah, no, but maybe not two kids because you know it can hurt the feelings of someone. Let's make two women or a man. No, the women no because it's okay. Two men. Yeah, but if they get killed, it looks bad because it gives too much violence to the. Come on, man! It's a fantasy world. It's about orcs. I mean, the orcs are supposed to, you know, to be barbarians and to go in the village and kill everything. And I don't like this because it doesn't. We are trying to hide the reality of the things, the evil nature of the natural evil of the things of the human of everything, and I don't like this. It doesn't reflect the real world outside. The real world outside is shit. I mean, man, I mean there are a lot of bad things happen. For example, let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Now, another example of what I want to say. They removed the Alf Ogre.
Mhm.
Why? Because it's if it's an Alf Ogre, it means that an orc raped a woman, human, no?
Yeah.
So they remove it to don't offend anyone. But at the end, it's something very bad. It's something that I condemn. I don't stand any of the people that abuse, I mean, violence abuse or whatever abuse. I don't stand with it and I condemn them and they should be at least in jail for their whole life. But and we all, I think everyone with a brain agree with this.
Yeah.
But it's a game of role play that needs to have some links to the real life. And real life is not just good things and fairies. It's mostly bad things for the 95% of the time. And then you have 5% where you are happy. But the happy moments are just it doesn't happen often to be happy about everything in your life, okay? So 95% of your life will be like suffering and struggling, money, time, whatever, struggle. But so I mean, for be a real game, it should, or be a real movie, it should reflect more the real life. This is my opinion.
I have to agree with you. The whole idea of humanizing the villains and the pure evilness that is hidden in them is rather offensive the other way. I'm a Ukrainian in Ukraine, and you understand what kind of shit we are going through.
Yes, yes,
At least, and to me, it is the whole idea of justifying the aggression, justifying the evil is actually way more offensive than not showing it. I actually think that it should be out there. It should be spoken about. It should be spoken about at every corner in order for us to not be able to, in order for us to stop it and never replicate it. We were always saying never again, right? I mean, the whole idea of World War II, never again. That was the slogan of the entire Europe, right? When in
yes,
reality, I feel like these kind of portrayals and justifiance of, oh, maybe it's a gray zone or something like this is what put this entire slogan to shit. And that's why, possibly we are facing what we're facing today.
yeah. I mean, it should be more. We should stick more to reality of the things without without justify or find another idea of what is wrong. I mean, if something is wrong. Stop. And I mean, then if there is someone against something that, like, if someone is in a certain way and someone else is against them, it's wrong. Even this, I mean, that's the thing of nature. There's no need to hate someone else for whatever reason. So we should also show them and expose this kind of behaviors because they are in the human nature. And in my opinion, it's important that, I mean, if the orcs come to the village and kill people, and you kill them back, and fuck off. I mean, fuck the orcs, kill them. So I mean, it's something that happens since the man was born. So
Yeah.
there's nothing strange in this.
Yeah, that's the rule we live by. All right, Francesco, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you once again, and I'm really excited for everyone to finally hear Trollslayer, which will be out just once again on October 4th. If you're a fan of Windrose, I'm more than sure that you will absolutely love it. I actually personally think that it is stronger than its predecessor. I think it is the most mature album you've done so far, and I've enjoyed it from the very beginning until the very end, especially the closer of No More Sorrow. I think it is a perfect album closer for this record, and I'm really excited to see how you guys will perform it live. And hopefully, guys, will be able to make it to Ukraine next year.
Yeah, I mean, it will be great. Where are you from in Ukraine?
Kyiv.
Kiev. Okay, we played one at Bingo.
Yeah. Bingo is closed now, unfortunately, but
Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Yeah, I
they
mean,
didn't survive the war thing, because that they had to close it, no events there and stuff like that.
yeah, we played Bingo. We played Kharkiv or Kharkov. I don't know which is the Ukrainian name.
Yeah.
Kharkiv, Zaporozh.
I was born there.
Okay. And Kiev and Probably another city, but I don't remember the name.
That's awesome. We'll love you to have you back.
Krivorog.
You've been to Kryvyi. Not even many Ukrainian bands have gone to Kryvyi.
It was a fantastic tour back in 2013. Fantastic. I remember that I was there and I was like, what the fuck? It seems to be like 30 years ago because I mean, in small towns, it was the car was like cars like a Trabant, you know, the car Trabant. No, I mean, the old cars from
Yeah.
Soviet times, you know, it was like, what the fuck? I mean, it was for us one of the first experience outside. So we were like, oh, but the people was cool, the food was cool, and everything was very good.
Well, hopefully, guys, will be able to make it back. Would love to welcome you here. Obviously, we have a little orc situation to deal with, and then you're welcome with Dwarven notes.
Okay.
All right.
See you next
Thank you so
time.
much, Francesco. Keep rocking, man.
Bye bye.